Everything you know about life is built on a lie. We were told evolution is a slow, blind process of DNA mutation taking millions of years. But in December 2025, a global genomic study of the cephalopod changed the paradigm forever. There is a creature in our oceans that doesn't play by the rules. It doesn't wait for DNA to change. It hacks the source code of life itself in real time. While we were busy looking for aliens in the stars, we ignored the one that's been watching us from the abyss for 300 million years. This is not just an animal. This is a biological glitch. The central dogma of biology is DNA makes RNA and RNA makes protein. It's a locked system. But the octopus found a backdoor. It uses something called massive RNA editing. Imagine you have a blueprint for a house. That's the DNA. Most creatures have to follow that blueprint exactly, but the octopus, it can change the blueprint while it's building. It can rewrite its nervous system in response to the environment within hours. If the water turns freezing, it rewrites the proteins in its brain to keep functioning. It is a biological software living in a world of hardware. This isn't just adaptation, it's programming. Scientists call it the Darwinian Glitch. By bypassing the slow crawl of DNA evolution, they have achieved a level of plastic intelligence that shouldn't exist in a mollusk. They are the only creatures on Earth that chose to be smart over being solid. To understand their power, you must understand their form. They are 90% muscle and 100% mystery. Because they have no skeleton, they are functionally liquid. A 100-pound giant Pacific octopus can pour its massive body through a hole no larger than a human coin. Their only limit is their beak, the only hard piece of their entire existence. Think about the tactical advantage of being a liquid predator. To a shark, they are shadows. To a human, they are nightmares. Right now, thousands of these liquid intelligences are watching divers from the shadows. If you're starting to realize we've underestimated this species, hit that subscribe button. We are just scratching the surface of their alien anatomy. Their skin is not just a covering, it is an active camouflage system powered by thousands of chromatophores, tiny socks of pigment controlled by nerves. They don't just change color, they change their physical texture to mimic rocks, sand, or seaweed in 200 milliseconds. They don't hide, they become the scenery. They have been here for 300 million years. They saw the rise and fall of the dinosaurs. They saw the first mammals crawl out of the mud. While our ancestors were struggling to develop bones, the octopus was already perfecting the art of the decentralized mind. In 2018, a group of 33 scientists published a paper suggesting that cephalopods might literally be extraterrestrial, brought to Earth on icy bolides as frozen embryos. While the alien theory is controversial, the alien biology is undeniable. They are an evolutionary branch that grew in total isolation from the rest of Earth's logic. They represent an alternative path for life, a path where intelligence doesn't need a spine and survival doesn't need armor. Their internal map reads like a sci-fi schematic. They have 3 hearts, 2 to pump blood to the gills, and 1 systemic heart for the body. But here's the terrifying part. When an octopus swims fast, that systemic heart stops beating. It's a design flaw that makes them prefer crawling, stalking, and hiding. Their blood isn't red like ours, it's blue. It uses copper-based hemocyanin instead of iron-based hemoglobin. Why? Because copper is more efficient at carrying oxygen in the freezing, lightless depths of the abyss. Imagine having 3 hearts in blue blood. Would that make you feel more like a god or a monster? Let me know in the comments, superpower or curse. But the most alien feature?
Their skin sees. Their body is covered in opsins, the same light-sensitive proteins found in eyes. This means an octopus can see light and color with its entire back, while its eyes are focused on something else. They are a 360-degree sensory machine.
We have a central government in our bodies, one brain. The octopus is a decentralized democracy. It has one central brain and 8 mini-brains, one in each arm. This means an arm can think, taste, and hunt for food while the central brain is sleeping. It is a biological internet. In lab tests, octopuses have shown observational learning. They watch a human perform a task, then they do it themselves, but often better. They recognize individual human faces. They remember who treated them well and who didn't. And they have been known to prank researchers by spraying water at those they don't like. There are documented stories of octopuses escaping their tanks to eat fish in a nearby tank, then returning to their own tank so they wouldn't get caught. If you've ever seen an animal do something too smart, tell your story in the comments. I'm looking for the weirdest ones. In the late 2025 study, scientists were shocked by the gene count. Humans have about 20,000 protein-coding genes. The octopus, over 33,000. Why does a mollusk have 10,000 more genetic instructions than the apex primate? The answer lies in their jumping genes. Their genome is incredibly chaotic and fluid, filled with transposons that allow for rapid mental development. They're basically biological computers that can self-install updates. They're the only creatures on Earth whose evolution is accelerating, while ours has slowed to a crawl. If an octopus lived for 50 years instead of 5, they would be the ones running the world. Type OCTO in the comments if you think they're the true heirs to this planet. As our oceans warm and humanity faces the consequences of the Anthropocene, the octopus is thriving. They are expanding their range. They are the only species engineered for the coming collapse. They don't need a stable environment because they are the environment. While we look at them through glass, they are looking back at us, waiting for our era to end. They aren't just animals, they are the next dominant intelligence. The next time you look into the eye of an octopus, remember, you aren't looking at a primitive creature. You are looking at a survivor of the past and a king of the future. They didn't just survive evolution, they hacked it. We aren't the pinnacle of life on Earth. We're just a temporary distraction for a species that has all the time in the world and 9 brains to plan what's next.